on unemployment. As a result, she's demanding more money from dad. That's right. Dad need to fork over the goods because mom is not working. Nevertheless, before we dive into the video, thank you for all my new subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 6,000. Sometimes you don't get my notifications when I drop these videos. So I'm asking that you go ahead and just subscribe to the channel. And it's just interesting the way life goes. People, have kids. You can see them totally indisposed in life. But when people are done with each other, they are done. So let's rock and roll.
The job that I was working, I lost. And so my income has declined. And I'm asking for an adjustment in the child support amount.
Solely based on the fact that she's not working, I don't think is fair and equitable at this time.
And ma'am, this is your motion regarding child support, is that correct?
Correct.
Can you please state the basis for your motion regarding support, ma'am?
The job that I was working, I lost in April. And so my income has declined. And I'm asking for an adjustment in the child support amount due to the changes in income.
Any other proposed changes you're requesting, ma'am?
I don't know if this is something I could do at the same time, but I would like to also adjust the overnights to increase to just adjust to what we have been doing the past couple years. Due to summer performance schedules, the girls have spent a couple extra nights with me. So it would be 4 additional for Effie, our oldest, and 10 additional for Amelia, the youngest, per year.
Okay, that may or may not make much of an impact as far as that little change of overnights, but I will see what Mr. Jarvie's position is regarding the overnights.
Okay.
Your motion also referenced something about childcare.
Oh, they don't need childcare payment anymore because they come home to me after school. So there's no childcare after school anymore. So I wanted that removed. Yes.
And ma'am, are you working then at this time or not working?
I am not. I've been looking for a job all summer. And right now I'm looking into gaining a certificate so that I'll have an additional endorsement either for special education, autism spectrum disorder, or speech, language, and impairment, or I'm also looking into a K-12 education administration program. So because there's no jobs available in my expertise, my certification within 100 miles, and I wasn't able to apply to the ones that are outside the area because I asked and he said we couldn't move over 100 miles. So I may be becoming a student as soon as in a couple of weeks to gain a certification. So that's additional graduate certificate. So about 21 extra graduate level credits.
And I understand that you're not working, but the court has the obligation to consider whether or not somebody could be working, and you can do what is called imputing income to somebody.
Okay.
If you got a different job, then we would take into consideration what that different job is, if it is a lower paying job. If you're not able to obtain the same type of paying job,
right,
I would certainly consider changing what your monthly amount is, but until we know what you're able to obtain, the court typically goes off of what somebody was previously making, as that is shown as a history of the ability to make that amount. So if you aren't currently working, we don't have the ability to have another job to consider for payment. So at this point, I'm not really inclined to change the income until we know what your next job would pay, whether it's more or less of what you were previously making. As to the childcare, we can certainly lower that. And then you also raised whether or not there were changes in the income for Mr. Jarvie. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm not aware of his income, but I would assume that pay scale's gone up for the teaching schedule.
Mr. Jarvie, would you please raise your right hand? Whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Anything you want to say in response to her motion regarding child support?
During the summer and early fall, I did forward to her some job opportunities, which I think a lot of them she applied for. I also encouraged her to be a substitute teacher. They're very desperate to find teachers, especially in Gaylord schools where I work. They have a shortage there. She chose not to pursue that as an option. And she could pretty much work every day doing that type of teaching work. In regards to asking me for more money, yes, I do make more than I did 3 years ago. I can confirm that. It's not a whole lot, but it is a little bit. So I would be willing to increase what I pay based on that increase. Other than that, I believe Miss Aber needs to get a job, some kind of job. She doesn't seem to be real eager to pursue anything right now in terms of work. And so asking me for more money on solely based on the fact that she's not working, I don't think is fair and equitable at this time. So that's kind of my view on things right now.
Okay. She had also mentioned the overnight number isn't accurate. What is your response to that?
The overnights have been adjusted throughout the year, back and forth. There's some nights, and she didn't mention, where I was hosting one or two of the kids. Either they were sick or something came up with the schedule. So the nights have gone back and forth. I don't really believe that there's a huge difference in the number of nights throughout the year. Again, I don't have a record of that.
All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, is there anything you want to say before I make a decision?
Ma'am.
Yes.
I did. I applied for all the jobs. I interviewed for the jobs. I actually interviewed for an assistant program at Gaylord Community Schools, and they were extremely rude to me at the interview, and they did not offer me the assistant job when I went into interview for that job. So that's why I haven't gone there yet. It is on my list of places to look into for a substitute position, but right now I'm also looking for a way that I can get the same amount of money that I had been getting instead of going straight to being a substitute teacher.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, given that information as to the motion regarding support, I will indicate a new support recommendation would be prepared based on any changes to the defendant's income. So the front of the court will send you the appropriate financial paperwork to complete that. Ms. Aber has lost her job, is not currently working. At this time, though, I would still continue to impute her income at her last income. And obviously, if she does get a different job, then the matter could be brought before the court again. If that job is paying less money than than it was previously calculated at, and the court would consider adjusting the income for her at that time. As to the overnight issues, it does not appear there has been a significant change in the number of overnights the parties are exercising. So I would deny the request to change the overnights. And given Ms. Aber's testimony that the children are not receiving childcare anymore, that should be eliminated from the next child support recommendation. Ms. Aber, do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jarvis, do you have any questions, sir?
No.
All right, thank you both for appearing. That does conclude the matter. You may sign off.
I found out that
Okay, I think it's quite interesting. If dad loses his job, he may have his license suspended, put in jail. Mom loses job, she could call dad to court and demand more in child support and decrease dad overnights in the process. Make it make sense. Now I know it may seem that I'm just over here rambling. It's just that it's a different set of circumstances. Doesn't make sense. And I think mom need to work a little harder to find a job. Nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe as we'll be coming to you with more videos in the future. And once again, We will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. YouTube doesn't always send out my notifications, and people don't always be able to tune in. We'll see you in the next video. We'll keep dropping heat on the channel.